Well, that stirring rendition was from, I have no idea. But, I'm here, joined as always, Psych. XP is on a skiing trip this weekend. He is not going to make it. Instead, we have everyone's favorite NYC to DC transplant, Jones. What's going on, Jones? And congrats on the podium last night.
Thanks, Kitten. Glad to be here. Got big shoes to fill. But let's have some fun tonight.
I'm looking forward to it. If tonight's anything like last night, we are in for quite the spectacle. We've got Breezy right now. He is sitting on pole. Looks like 26-7. Sean was speaking pretty big words. He was saying that he was going to do 25 today. So we'll just have to see about that.
I think 25.9 was his goal,
yeah,
which
25.9
would blow my mind.
It would blow my mind. I think I talked to Xanamar last night too, and he said he could do 25.9s. But well, right now he's still in the 27s. So I guess we'll just have to figure that out as we go along. I mean, I suppose we can we have a lot to unpack after last night's race, but like I said, I'm all about the future right now. This is going to be an exciting battle. We got all the heavy hitters. We got 19 guys in the lobby. I think Hot Bread is the only one that is not attending. And goodness gracious, this is going to be some fun stuff. I'm actually surprised.
It's definitely a driver's course, and we've got the best of the best here. So we should see some good action tonight, barring weather, I would say.
I think with a little bit of rain, it might even be a little bit better. But yeah, it looks like we're getting some feedback now. We're asking for the forecast. We are looking like a dry race. So my point is neat. Let me just settle in.
Very good.
Settle in and watch this. I do have to say, this is my least favorite track outside of Abu Dhabi and Monaco.
Really?
It's a wheel track, man. It's something on a pad you just can't get right.
That is true. I think on the pad the mistakes are magnified on a course like this. You cannot make small mistakes with the wheel, and obviously it's easy to do that if you're driving with the thumb. So
yeah, especially if you have little bitty hands like I do. But it is. I mean, I was talking, I think, to Silent the other day, and I came to the conclusion that I'm really rough around here because I grew up playing on the old Silverstone circuit, and really the first and last complex weren't there before what 2010, 2011, and
right.
And that's where I lose the most time nowadays.
Well, I want to mention here, Sean said 25.9. He just put in a 26.1, and it was on his first hot lap. That is very, very fast stuff out of Sean.
I'm trying to think of what the predictions were. I think a couple of people during the podcast on Sunday mentioned that they thought Sean was going to win. Sean is definitely really quick around here. He had a couple of down weeks, but last week he came back, got a podium in Austria.
Italian guy beats his personal, well, not personal, he beats his TCR record at this course. Obviously Sean has gone faster than that, but a good start for Italian guy. He's improved since last season.
Yeah, Talon really came on in the second half of last year. He got accustomed or acclimatized to his Fanatec, which I've heard is worth at least 3 seconds per lap. Oh, Talon's actually gonna pit. Looks like he might have much ado about nothing.
Before we came on live here, GoTo got a 5-second grid, or a 5-place grid penalty. He ran into the back of Dre, I believe it was. But I was going to mention our fastest pad user currently on the board is Mr. Psychosign sitting in third. 26.5 is a very good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably should have experimented with Psycho's setup around here, to be honest. But he is flying right now. He missed one race. I believe he missed Australia, or was it Abu Dhabi? But ever since then, he's come back. He's got, I think, 2 podiums in a row. He's been flying right now. Definitely
After
in the best
a very
form
rough start, too.
Yeah, he definitely had a few run-ins with Kev in the season opener. Lots of bad luck, but Psycho's definitely kicking it into another gear. Don't think it's going to be too long before he captures that first win.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised at Joe Breezy so far. I expect to see him up front today. Not sure if he didn't get a good lap in yet or what, but sitting in 6th right now.
Yeah, and he's got. I mean, we had GoTo leapfrog him after he had a pretty tough race last week in Austria, and he's now, I think, 4 points behind in the standings. I think it's 74 to 70 between those two. And with a 5-space grid penalty for GoTo, he might be looking to take that lead back.
I mean, as far as qualifying goes so far, he's not taking advantage as much as he could be. This is a really tough place to make up track position, in my opinion, especially with how close these guys are going to be on pace. So Breezy's got to move up the board and take advantage of GoTo's struggles here.
Yeah, I do think. I mean, we were really close last night. We went from. I mean, I know I pitted when I was in P2, and I wound up all the way down to P14. So it's very. I mean, it's mainly the pit lane that's the problem. It's about a 40-second delta around here. It's ridiculous, but it definitely is all about track position here at Silverstone.
Yep.
We look at
Mr. Psycho Sane definitely agrees with that. I just noticed he did his 26.5 on a second flyer lap.
Ooh.
It looks like, so that really counts. It really plays into strategy here. That extra lap on softs brings you in at least an extra lap in the race. So
yeah, I mean the undercut is a bit pronounced around here. You can see guys going in at lap 7, lap 8. I think last night we had some guys going on lap 8. Whenever in reality, like, you can make those last until 11 or 12, but
yeah, between 8 and 12 is the window.
Yeah, it's I mean it is. I mean, there's like a lot of different strategies, which is kind of ironic given that it's a one-stop circuit. You don't have to pit more than once, but there are a lot of different intricacies that you can explore, should I say.
Well, I'll say this about this track. I think the toe is really important here. If you have people to follow on track, you can really take advantage as far as managing your tires, your fuel, your ERS. If you have that DRS advantage, it really helps here. So that can play into your strategy big time. If you're out there by yourself, it changes things dramatically.
It does, for sure. And as you mentioned that, we actually have Breezy on his hot lap. He had a nice toe from Destiny. And he's going to improve up into P2. It's like Sean... Yep. Did Sean crash? What happened to Sean? Or, no, he just left. He's not going to reach the 25s. But he is on the pole preliminarily here.
Well, lofty goals get you results. That's his strategy, according to him, and paying off tonight so far.
That is true. That is very, very true. Let's see what everyone's best lap. No one is going with the reverse strategy, which I actually kind of liked last night. I'd never tried it before, but honestly,
How far did you go on the mediums?
Mediums, I think I was mainly just following Gabe last night. Probably 16, 17 laps. We were getting gunned down by Lopez, so we both had the same idea at the same time.
It looks like go-to guy is planning on being 10th or 11th on back for strategy.
I think
I have to assume that's what he's doing.
Yeah. Interesting stuff for go-to. I mean, he still is turning laps. He's on a hot lap right now. Will be interesting to see if he actually completes it or if he just pits.
Interesting way to go, though. You know, if he does start in the back half of the grid, he does get advantage on tire strategy, maybe, but he also sits in traffic. So I'm not sure about that, if that's what he's up to.
He would have to clear, or at least navigate all that traffic throughout the first, like you said, 18, 12 laps.
Right.
Oh, 27.2, he is all the way, he's a second off of Breezy right now.
Yep. We know he's much faster than that, so.
He's going to be coming around here. See where he lines up. He's up to P5.
There he is.
26.3. Looks like I spoke it into existence. Good job, the go-to guy. Xander also with a P4 and a 126.2. I mean, these times are ridiculous from these guys. Top 13, all in the 26. In the 26s, and it looks like, I mean, jeez. After Sean,
yeah, these are all very good times.
2 to 4 is 0.006 of a second. Go-to is only a tenth off of that. It is. Oh, man.
Well, I was gonna give you my race predictions, and funny enough, these top three are in order the way I was going to go. So I predict these top three are gonna stay as is for the race.
Sean, Breezy, and Talon.
Yep.
Original.
Well, I'm being honest with you. That was the order I was going to go with. I do think it's going to be contested all the way to the last lap, though. I don't see anybody running away from this field.
Xander, Xander does mention. He said that he went. He was purple in sector 1, but he says that everyone's too damn close, which I don't hate. Go-to guy is going to be starting, I think, in P10 with that 5-place grid penalty.
Yeah.
Good, yeah, this
one
is looking
spot away
interesting.
from getting those tires.
Yeah, good quality from Damaso down in P7 and Spec Ops and 9th. Shout out to Spec Ops in the Discord. He sent a video of some early 2000 kart action. That's the quickest way to get to my heart. love that. I guess I should probably give you my predictions.
Absolutely, let's hear it.
I realized after we finished doing the podcast that I had picked all pad users in a complete coincidence, and in the pad's definitely difficult to manage as we spoke about earlier. I am gonna go with Sean. I think Sean's gonna win the race, and I think Breezy's gonna finish second. I'm gonna give P3 to Psycho. Boom, there it is.
Okay. Psycho is not a bad pick. I know personally that this is one of his better tracks. So as far as pad users go, we've got some of the best here in Platinum class, so I would not be surprised to see them perform here. despite the difficulty.
For certain, for certain. I guess with that, let's run through the order. I'll play. Oh wait, always messed that up. You like what you hear? We got the F1 theme
Very
song
nice.
on the flutophone. Let's run through. We got Sean with his probably 800th career pole in the Ferrari. Breezy's in P2, another strong qualifying from him. Talon in P3, he continues his excellent form. Xandermar with a pretty solid P4 on that Fanatec. And Go-To, the championship leader, he's in P5. Psycho, Portugal's finest, in P6, followed by Damaso, Mexico City's finest. Starboy in P8, Spec Ops in P9, iRoll in 10th, Silent, Be Good, ZX. A little disappointing from ZX, jeez man. Useless in P14, let's see what he can do. Seafreeze in P15, W in 16th, Destiny, another bad qualifying session from Destiny. Swarners in 18th, it looks like Dre is going to be rounding up the grid in P19. I love that song.
Very nice. Just wrapping up some review of qualifying. We do have Freeze towards the back again. Not sure if it was a short prep week for him, but I know he's faster than that. 15th. We got Starboy in 8th. He's been in the top 5 qualifiers in the first few races, so maybe not one of his stronger tracks.
Perhaps not. Everyone's fourth favorite Quebecois. But yeah, Freeze did have a tough qualifying last year, and he'll let you know that he had a really good race. Last week, he was very excited about going P16 to P6. But here we are. We got Sean on pole, Breezy next to him, Talon in 3rd, Xander, Psycho, Damaso. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this start. We got 2 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are off from Silverstone in Great Britain. Looks like Sean gets a good jump. Xander into P3. He jumped Talon guy, but at the moment, let's see how these guys file out. Breezy, or no, it's Damaso on Starboy back there in P5. Good move from Damaso. He kind of forces Starboy off a little bit. As we got Psycho.
Oh, we got Saubers going wild in the back here.
Who was that? Is that Starboy?
It's Starboy and Go-To both.
Oh no!
Went off track.
Oh man, that is tough from Go-To. Looks like a McLaren was a Silent involved as well. Not entirely sure what happened there. That's gonna force Go-To maybe onto alternate strategy. It looks like he definitely has some front wing damage. That in plate is gone on the right side.
They were pretty bottled up in the back. I saw 2 and 3 wide going into that chicane, so they did get bunched up.
That is a tough. I mean, it's one of the tougher first laps. That first complex is you know, whenever you have everyone going 2-3 wide, it is tough to navigate through. So
it looks like Go-To definitely has wing damage.
Yeah,
The whole left side of his front wing is gone, it looks like.
I hate to see that. Looks like Spec Ops is already in the pits. He might have been involved in that first lap.
Silent as well.
Yeah. And Go-To, yeah. I guess these three were the... Oh, and checking out Dre Diggy as he goes off track through the first corner. That's Abby. That's an interesting place to leave it at.
Just pure speculation. Starboy definitely went off track in that mix-up. I wonder if it was some sort of chain reaction to the back of the field. Just a guess, though.
Yeah, it is just conjecture at this point. But yeah, that probably I would say that's the most likely scenario. They would call something like that.
Useless up 6 positions on lap 1.
Yeah, it's definitely strong. Start from useless. Ooh, Sean was a little wide coming out of Chapel. And we've got Breezy making a move now. Is this the moment? Yeah, I think it is. God, I hate the camera angles are terrible, but looks like Sean is gonna stay on the inside. Oh man! And this right now, I mean, you've got Xandermar and Talon right up on the back of Breezy with that little battle.
I am surprised to see Sean and Joe going this hard early on. These two are real smart drivers.
Like Talon pushes,
I guess they feel track position's really important here. So
yeah, Talon just shouldered out Xandermar there going into turn 1, or I guess that's turn 2. But that gave Breezy and Sean a little bit of a respite, as they're still going at it. And this is shades of last week. These guys were going at it. Looks like the pace is very similar between these two.
Not sure I agree with battling this early on these tires, but these are the best drivers, so I'm gonna sit back and learn.
Same. It does look like this is pretty calculated on Breezy's end. Although Sean is saving a lot of his ERS at the moment. Excellent switch to Talon as they're going side by side into this final complex here. Looks like Breezy might have gone a little wide. They really are going at it. And I mean,
and Talon's just sitting back there, just licking his chops. He's loving this. He's got to be loving this. Saving his tires, letting them wear him down.
He's just hanging out.
He'll just follow the lead.
This is the spot Mitch was in last night.
Yep.
Behind Fatal and what's his name, Lopez, as they were battling out the first, and guess who won? The guy who was in that P3 actually was Gabriel.
Yeah, that is. We talked about the toe around here being important, but I also should have mentioned I do believe being the following car is a huge advantage on this track. As long as you can keep up, you are in a really good position, because it takes a lot to defend on this track as far as tire wear and focus.
Talon already has a 3-second time penalty. That is worth keeping an eye on as we go along. There are a lot of time penalties that are handed out around here. One of the harsher tracks when it comes to that. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think it's also one of the most difficult. There's not really any like clear overtaking zone. Oh my God! Look at Breezy and Sean's. Excuse me. I was just riding on board Talon and I see him going wheel to wheel. I
guess racers are gonna race. It doesn't matter how early it is.
Sure, are they gonna go side by side through here? Good lord.
Oh.
Good lord, fellas.
All bets are off between these guys.
Yeah. No, but as I was saying, it's difficult to overtake around Silverstone. There's no like clear-cut overtaking zone, even though there are 3 DRS states. It is one of the tougher. I mean, just like the radius of each entry to the corners through the DRS states is very tough.
Yeah, there are a couple spots like where they just went through, where you can take a couple different lines and work the track a little bit to your advantage. But yeah, there is no big braking zone to take a dive, so it is very tough to overtake.
And this is fascinating right now. I think Talon's he's saving everything up, but Xander's creeping up on his behind. Psycho's in DRS range behind Xandermar. The top 5 are split up by just Oh, and then there we go again. Goodness gracious.
3, 4, and 5, I think are doing what I would recommend. They're just kind of following right now. They're getting through this first tire stint. They'll go grab fresh rubber and they'll come out firing after that.
Yeah.
I think that is a preferred way to go around, but don't tell Joe and Sean that.
Yeah, right. I think, I mean the undercut is somewhat viable around here. You like I mentioned earlier, it is easy to make those mediums last long enough. But at the end of the day, the front tire wear is pretty extreme. I mean, you're looking at 70+% if you do 18, 19 laps on those mediums.
See 2 different lines through there by Sean and Joe, and Sean gets a much better exit going into cops.
Looks like Psycho might be lining something up on Xander coming to Magnus and Beckett's. There's a little bit of a gulf forming between 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Looks like talent is sticking with Breezy and Sean, but Psycho and Xander are about to have a little battle royale. There's just close racing all down the field too. We've paid zero attention to everything outside of the top 5, which I apologize for.
They're neck and neck, and I thought it would be this way, which it makes it. That's why I'm surprised they're battling. I think if you ride on board with Psycho, I think you'll see him just follow Xandemar all the way around. If he gets an opportunity to take a spot, he'll take it, but I don't think he's going to push it. And I think 3 through 5, that's what you're going to see.
Certainly not. It was useless just put in the fastest lap. He hasn't hit yet, so he's cranking it up right now. We got iRoll. Hey, that was a pretty good start from iRoll. Where did he start? Is it P11? And
iRoll started P10.
P10. Yeah, he's already up into P6. But there is a bit of a gap forming. It looks like Psycho's really backing up now. He's gonna let these guys go at it.
Yeah.
But there is a 2.5 gap between the top 5 and everyone else, and then once we get
remember, Psycho had 2 laps on his soft, so it would not be surprise me whatsoever if he's reaching the max right now.
Yeah, that would make some sense. These guys are so close. They're all within about they're less than a second away from each other right now.
It looks like they kind of wised up. Joe's just kind of following at this point.
Yeah, I mean, as Xander pours in the quickest lap of the race, back there with P4. But man, I don't think I've ever seen like a 4-way battle like this in TCR. These guys are incredibly close with one another. To run around here with the dirty air, and there is a lot of dirty air at Silverstone with the amount of fast corners there. Color me surprised. I'm pleasantly
Joe has built up a full reserve on ERS. He might be packing in for a big move here, but it would surprise me. There's no need at this point. They're going to be coming in for tires very soon.
Yeah, I mean, these guys might all come in at the same exact time, so who knows how the pit traffic is going to be. It could work to Joe's advantage either way.
I expect to see Psycho come in maybe this lap. The way he's backing up right now, the undercut is his best bet to maintain track position.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I guess. Oh, it looks like Xander's gonna go for the undercut. Wait, who was it?
That was Joe. Joe's in.
Joe. Okay, so Joe's would be the undercut. It's that same camera angle around that part of the track. It always just sticks on the front wing. can't really tell
Yeah,
who's
he's
who.
gonna come out with full ERS, and he's gonna go for a big undercut. If he can get a second clear of Sean, that will pay off huge for him.
I think this might be the race for Breezy. Just considering how much he can get through traffic, he showed that in Abu Dhabi. But he is definitely going for it here. And it looks like Bigot also threw on the medium at the same time. He hasn't been.
Look at Sean building up that gap. He knows he's got to go for it now.
Yeah.
He's up to 1.3 over Talon.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he responds immediately or if he waits another lap or two to head into the pits. But yeah, it looks like Zandy's actually completely backed off. Here, he's not even worried about it at the moment.
Those tires go quick here. I think everybody's hitting that mark right now.
Yeah, it gets to a point where, I mean, the understeer and the oversteer, both is just ridiculous. And there's Sean. It's like Talon's going to tail him. So is Xandermar. So is Psycho. It's like I roll. The top 6 are all pitting right now. Tommaso follows him in there too.
I'm watching Joe right now, and he's still saving that ERS. Looks like he's still trying to get those mediums heated up, but right here is going to be crucial. Yeah. The gap that he gets over Sean here is really important.
It certainly does take a lap or two to get those heated up. Like I said, it's a ridiculously long pit delta here at Silverstone, and whew, I mean, Eustace is going to inherit. I do think. I mean, this is kind of interesting now too from ZX's point of view, where he's on the mediums. He's got about 9 seconds over W, who's the closest one on mediums. If he did the alternate strategy here, I mean that very well may pay off. Very interesting.
Well, Sean managed to hold on to the lead. That was very good.
Wait, did Sean put on? Oh, he's on. From the stream, it looks like Sean is on soft, but he's not.
Yeah, I see the same, but it wouldn't make sense.
But Breezy got around him regardless. So I guess we have part 2 to this saga.
Well, it depends. Sean's warming up those tires. Breezy just got to get a second clear.
Yeah. I mean, it like we just mentioned, it is difficult to. Oh, Eustace gets a 5-second penalty in the pits. But it is difficult to get these mediums up to temp, and Sean was obviously pretty concerned about that right there. You could see him weaving back and forth on was it Wellington Street? Yeah, it's Wellington.
Yeah, he's up to 9/10 right now.
As Breezy,
I think Sean just got it.
Breezy just put in the fastest lap on those mediums. Impressive stuff there.
Sean's just barely trying to hang on here to that DRS gap. That's really important for him.
It looks like Breezy is. Well, Breezy's in control here. He's alphaing Sean at the moment.
Sean's still got DRS. I'm gonna take up the line. He takes through this corner here. He's going shallow. Interesting because he was taking a different line on the first tire stint, but he did get a good exit again.
It was. I mean, Sean definitely has a good line. This growing though, I don't, maybe Sean's just playing the long game here. Maybe he's just trying to.
Oof. We just got a terrible exit out of the S's.
Yeah, those tires. It almost looks like there's something wrong with him. Like he's got way too much oversteer for a fresh set of mediums.
Yeah, I think they're just slick on him right now, but they should be getting up to temp by now. I tell you what, Joe could be gone. If he manages that fuel and ERS properly, he can take off, which
he's
surprises me.
Yeah, same here. I did not think that he was doing that. Talon just put in the newest fastest lap on his mediums. I don't know what to think right now. I think Breezy. I mean, this is impressive stuff from Breezy, breaking DRS in a couple laps on the same exact strategy.
So we've got ZX, Double, and Swarner all on their first tire. ZX and Double are on the mediums, so they're doing a reverse on the tires.
Yeah, I mean, I do think. I mean, ZX is. It's not. I'm not going to say a podium, but he is in position to put himself in the top 5. I think with this reverse strategy, which was good for him, given he qualified in 13th. So he had a tough qualifying session.
Not sure how Psycho ended up behind iRoll. Maybe iRoll undercut him. I'm not sure how that happened.
Yeah, same here. I didn't even notice that until just now, and I thought Psycho had one of the best strategies on that first stint.
Yep.
He is caught up to iRoll right now, as it's like Sean and Talon. Yeah, Swarner's finally pitting. So the top 5 as we stand is ZX, W, Breezy, Sean, and Talon. Looks like iRoll did jump Psycho and P7 there. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Now with warmed up tires, Sean has been able to close that gap, which was pretty good on his part. See if Joe's saving up.
I do think I think Joe is saving up a little bit. So Sean is coming back as I mean, I guess maybe I was a little too early to crown the race to Breezy, but Sean is definitely coming back, and he is coming back.
I think Joe's got his hands full here. I'm watching him manage this ERS. He's using it every spot he can, and it's low on him right now, so he's really pushing to stay ahead.
Sean's playing the long game.
Sean's just got him on pace right now.
If this works out for Sean, admittedly, that is very impressive, just racecraft from Sean's point of view. I think he lulled Breezy into a false sense of security as he was, jumping out a couple tenths of that, and now he's just reeling him back in.
Well, I wonder if Joe could have gotten more on that outlap. He did not use much ERS, if he used it at all, on the outlap, and he came out behind Sean, and I thought for sure he would come out in front. So he didn't get much out of that undercut whatsoever.
Yeah, right. I mean, strategy-wise, I was certainly questioning Sean at first, but I think Kimi Räikkönen, yes, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I really enjoy sitting here behind the screen criticizing drivers that are much better than me.
Yeah.
This is a lot of fun.
Sean goes around the outside. That's my favorite part.
Oh, well.
I never thought of
like
it that
an
way.
armchair critic.
God, these guys, yes. The Monday morning quarterback. This is... I mean, these guys are going at it again. Breezy actually had DRS there. Because Sean had passed him into that final complex. It looks like Sean is.
And now is the time to fight, as opposed to the first stint. It is definitely the time to fight.
Yes. We can fight.
Although if they fight too much, Talon's gonna reel it in again, and he's gonna be sitting pretty again.
He's gone from about 5 seconds to 2 seconds in the course of how many laps? Maybe 6? Yes.
Yep.
Look at these guys going side by side. These guys won it. They have won it all day. This is really fun to watch.
You get the feeling they've been bored the last couple of races, not being able to race wheel to wheel, and you get a nice wide track like this, they're going after it.
For sure. This is, oh man. Like I mean, this is a big time fight on our hands right now. I don't think. I think Sean might have a slight advantage at the moment, but these guys are really. I mean, they are really battling. This is fantastic stuff. Yeah, it's like
Joe's got a little bit more in the battery right now. Sean used it up getting by him, so Joe should be able to hang here for a little while.
Yeah, and we do mention that ZX and W just pitted on the same lap. They're going to throw on the softs. Ooh, Breezy almost lost it coming through the first complex. But man.
Go to sitting in the back of the pack. He's on the hard tires, which nobody uses.
Yeah, I know. I know.
He's gonna try to march third of the points on the blues.
This is hashtag weird flex, but okay. From from GoTo. Let's see if he can make those hards work. I've honestly never seen someone use hards in my entire life. So. I mean, those are. It's basically like it's basically like a die-cast car, like with like the plastic rubber they have. It's basically what that is.
It reminds me of the tires they use for the photo shoots. Those exhibition tires.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trash. So, I commend GoTo for doing a test session. Well, I guess this is the only track where they use hard tires now, so it's not even a test session for the rest of us. But I commend what he's trying to do, because he obviously burnt off his softs at the start of the race. He had to throw on the hards. Otherwise, he'd be on the 2-stop while everyone else was doing a 1-stop.
Well, I gotta say, with this battle at the front here, I believe Joe's gonna sit behind Sean here for a number of laps, and go on attack late in the race. It's a good strategy. Like I said before, I think being the following car is a huge advantage here as long as you can keep up. I think Joe's gonna play that hand here for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. We do have an interesting battle blowing up here. Obviously, we have the top 4. They're all kind of on their own thing. Sean and Breezy, and then there's a bit of a gap to Talon, and there's a bit of a gap from Talon to Random.
We've got a train here between 5th and 8th, though.
Yeah, that's a long-winded way of saying exactly what you just said. Useless gets around Iroh, but these guys are all within about a second of each other.
Oh boy, less than that.
Goodness gracious, fellas. This is about half a second. As Roll picks up a penalty.
This is going to get dicer between these 4.
Yeah, I think there are some fireworks brewing, and this is going to let Psycho and ZX back into it. Both Mercedes boys. No. ZX and Be Good is what I think. This is a good comeback drive from Iroh if he can hold steady here. He's had a
He got
rough.
tangled up with Talon in Austria, and it would be nice to see him get a good result here. He's about to go into the S's with 4 cars, though.
Yeah.
Pray for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a rough start to the season. He was a surprise P2 in the championship last year, but I do kind of want him to get back into the at least the top. You know. Oh, there it is.
Contact.
There it is. Useless. With useless, and useless is probably.
He's gonna wait for useless, which is a nice.
That is admirable. I think he realized. Oh, and now we're gonna have what was that Swarm W coming up behind him.
Good sportsmanship there. That was a tough battle. They just got tangled up a little bit.
Yeah, sportsmanship. Pass it on. Like those PSA commercials. Yeah, that is the epitome of a commentator's curse. I'm talking.
Yeah.
I'm talking up eye roll, and then that happens.
Well, it was developing. I mean, the 4 cars close together like that,
Yeah,
people are going to get desperate and start making
something.
moves, so.
It's like eye roll's tires might be a little hot right now. Swarner's gonna look for that advantage.
And just as we left the 4-car battle, we've got another one with Iroh and Useless again. Double and Swarner piled up on their on their gearbox here. Into the S's once again.
And the dirty air through what's that, Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel
Yep.
is very, very, very strong. You know, it's like Useless's
It's very
tires
real.
have given up. Useless's tires, unfortunately, have.
Oh, Swarner and Iroh got together a little bit. And again. Oh, Swarner going with his NASCAR strategy tonight.
Bum driving.
Rubbin's racing.
Rubbin's racing. Tire. Wheel banging. Wheel banging. Oh, wheel banging all night tonight.
And now the president of TCR in on the action to observe the sportsmanship here.
Between Double and Freeze, and they're going side by side in the Brooklyn. As the cars in front of them go side by side in the Brooklyn. This is where the action's at, folks.
Boy, they're not even battling over points.
Oh,
this
there
is
goes
impressive.
Swarner. Oh, looks like Swarner tried. He got a better exit, and he got just shouldered into the wall there.
You got Go2 and Sean just connected a little, Joe and Sean just connected a little bit up front and just caught the gap there.
Oh my God. I only have two hands.
Yep.
This is good stuff right now.
I wanted to report on the gap, and then I went to them, and I saw their wheels banging. So
it's a Thursday night orgy. Is what we got going on right now. We got a lot of lots of banging going on. I'm gonna get reprimanded for that. But we do have. I mean, Breezy is within what, half a second of Sean for P1. We can't lose the plot, but the action throughout the field is ridiculous right now. We've got W Freeze. I mean, Freeze is about to make a move with W. I think. They're just going after it. They're side by side still through Brooklyn's. Or no, that's not Brooklyn's. That's is that Woodcott? It's Cops. Or no, Woodcott.
I want to see Talon turn it on a little bit here. He's got a second and a half to go to Joe. I'm sorry. If he can close that half second and get the toe, he would be in the best position going into these last 5 laps. I want to see him push.
Yeah, for sure. I think I like what he's doing. But that gap has stabilized at about a second and a half for a while now. I think that might be strategy. Might be doing that on purpose.
Well, I've got to imagine he'd rather be in DRS if he could be. Maybe he is pushing, but this is a huge opportunity for him if he could close that gap to Joe.
Now we got a battle for P5 between Damaso and Psycho, and ZX is jumping on this. This is a little bit of Mercedes tag team on Damaso at the moment. I'm not sure if Damaso's struggling with something right now. But I mean, this is a really solid race from all three of these guys.
Yes, Mercedes having a very
picks
good
up a 3
result
second
so
penalty.
far.
Breezy with a penalty, which...
And I think Sean's clean at this point, so that's important.
And he's fallen back. I mean, he fell back from DRS zone last lap, but now he's dropping about 0.2 a sector.
And Talon has almost closed that gap to DRS range, so Joe is really struggling with pace here.
With a good complex here, he might actually, yeah, he is within DRS range at the moment.
Yep.
And yeah, that's gonna help a lot. And these guys are all saving their ERS to an extent. Sean's is actually the lowest of the top three. So we'll see, as Breezy just got 2 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think Breezy would be sitting back this far on purpose. He definitely would not want to lose that DRS range.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Breezy's really struggling this time.
Oh, Swarner hold them up a little bit through the S's. Not ideal, but maybe not much Swarner can do in that situation.
There's nowhere to really go right there. I feel like Swarner would have had some points today, but they're running with eye roll. I mean, that was bound to happen. There's always action where eye roll is.
This is Sean's race to win for sure at this point. Talon's got an opportunity for P2, and with the penalties, I think Joe and Talon are square. Did Talon not get a time penalty earlier?
Talon did in the first couple of laps.
Yeah, so I think they're square at 3 seconds each, which actually brings Zandermar into the equation.
It does. It does. And as you mentioned it, Zandy's up to it's under 3.5 seconds right now, so he could potentially get his first
P2 maybe.
of the season. Yeah, he's had a boring race. I think he hasn't really been in.
Well, if only he knew the situation, he's got a clear track in front of him. Good time to push here. He's got no ERS though. Maybe
it's true.
If he could just get, if he could get a half second, that might be P2 for him.
I will say his ERS is pretty much. Oh, Sean just got a 3 second penalty.
And that changes it all.
It does.
Now Xander's really in good shape.
I would agree with you, Jones, but Xander is pretty much out of DRS at the moment. He is obviously.
I'm just looking at his gap to Joe. His gap to Joe with the penalties is about even right now.
Really?
Yes, he's Well, he's 2.7 behind Talon. Talon is working 2 3/10 behind Joe. So
Man alive.
Zandamar is net P2, floating around net P2 right now.
And he's closed a couple of tenths in that last sector. Right now, I mean, these guys are all going after it. This has been a fun race to watch, I gotta say. These
Mercedes still trying to put the pressure on Damaso, but Damaso's managing the track really well at this point. I don't know if they're gonna get by him.
yeah, I think Damaso had a strategy and he's executing it to perfection right now. Those tires are in the best shape of just about everyone on the track. As we got, is that Swarner he's still hassling Talon and Breezy. He's got those fresh. He threw on a pair of fresh softs after his running with Iroh.
Yeah.
Maybe he just backed off a little bit.
Talon wants P2 badly.
Yeah, he's gunning for it right now.
And what they don't realize is Xander is in P2, and this fight is going to solidify that for him.
So this is the battle for the final podium spot between Talon and Breezy. Breezy's been he's been in hand-to-hand combat all night with Sean on that first stint, now with Talon.
Well, I want to say, being the last lap here, if Sean can cap this off, it is good to see him back up front, right where he belongs. We need him up front.
Yeah,
and,
we can make it a three-way battle between Sean and especially with Gotu's day to day. He's struggling. He's out of the point section right now. But Sean and Breezy and even Talon's gonna get a pretty good. Well, he's gonna pass.
We've got
Breezy
4 guys here who are interested in this championship, and there goes Talon into P2, except it's not.
And as we say,
it's going to be close, though. It's going to be very close.
It is very close. But
there
Xandamar is in P2.
Very nice. I bet he's thrilled. Man, Xandamar switching to the Fanatec for this season. Very, very quick to get up to speed. Very impressive.
It is true. But Sean is our winner. Congratulations, Sean. He had a little bit of dip in form for a couple of races, but he's back at Sean level, and looks like it's gonna be Sean Xandamar in P2. Congrats to Zandy. P3 is going to be Joe Breezy, and P4 is Talon. Psycho's in P5. Damaso in P6. ZX P7. Be Good in P8. Starboy in 9th. And Iroh in 10th. Interesting stuff. This was a fast
ZX,
race.
the biggest mover with 6 spots. Nice result by him. ZX up 6 spots. Be Good went up 4 spots to finish in the strong 7th and 8th in the points.
Finishing pad user, I believe. Yeah, that is that was a great race from Sean. I shouldn't gloss over it with all the action that was happening behind him, but that last stint.
Strong performance from Sean. Very strong.
Yeah, that last stint was really good. And look at him.
I think Joe gave it all he had, but Sean just had him on pace, flat out. Joe gave it everything he had, I thought. So,
yeah,
very nice by Sean tonight.
Very good from Zandy too. His first podium of the season. Look at everyone's favorite Ontarioan who lives in Vancouver. Yeah, that was really good stuff. I think like all the way down the field, everyone was so close, and I'm I'm happy with what I just watched. This was some exciting stuff.
This is going to mix up the title contention once again. The
Yeah.
top three are going to be very tight after this race.
And Tala's
So
not going to be too far behind either. So
that's right. So going into Singapore, the championship just keeps getting better here. The constructors is also very tight at the top. Two teams for sure. Sauber and Toro Rosso battling it out. So
yep.
shaping up to be a really fantastic season 7 here in Platinum.
And hell, who knows what's going to happen in Singapore? It could be there. There is a laundry list of things that could possibly go wrong for each one of the top four in Singapore. It's going to be a lot of fun next week. It is the first week of March Madness. I might not make it. Depends on how much money I lose. But until then, for Jonesy and for myself, for all of TCR, if you like what you saw, because I know I certainly did, you should subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when we go live with the podcast on Sunday nights and with our races on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Oh yeah, do follow us on Twitter and Instagram too, right? Trinity Competitive or etrinityracing.com. Yeah, oh yeah. But like I was saying, I digress. For myself and for Jonesy, we'll see you next week, unless you tune into the podcast, which is on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a good night, guys.